Hello everybody, welcome back with another video. Today we are back, and yes, we're back reacting to India and Pakistan, a continuing story. This is part 3 of the series. It's been 3 weeks since we reacted to this video. So yes, like and subscribe for more videos like this. Go check this video out. It's in the description down below. I'm gonna start my recording.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so here we go guys. Thank you for 305 subscribers. We're growing, boys. We're growing. So yeah, like and subscribe. Let's wait. Okay, let's go.
The favorite political pastime on the subcontinent for the past 70 years has been to try to undermine and harm your neighbors. Pakistan and India fought 4 wars. Both countries constantly try to undermine each other. Both countries are nuclear powers, and the subcontinent is currently the most likely source for a nuclear war. Most wars have been fought over the region of Kashmir, a Muslim-majority province that used to have a Hindu king. Pakistan lays claim to it because of its Muslim majority, and India because the Hindu king ceded the province to India. In 1962, China invaded to take the northern part of Kashmir from India, which it did to secure its Himalayan borders. And that intervention sort of reveals the actual reason for why there is conflict in that region. Because most Kashmiris, when polled, don't want to be either part of India or of Pakistan. They want independence. And all parties in this conflict simply ignore this because Kashmir is a key element in the subcontinent's tradition of the politics of antagonizing each other. The Indus River is the single most important geographical feature of Pakistan. It's the country's lifeline, its fresh water supply, and the backbone of its agriculture and population centers. However, the Indus does not originate in Pakistan, but in Kashmir. So do the 3 most important tributary rivers to the Indus as well: the Jhelum, the Chenab, and the Sutlej. 4 of the most important rivers of Pakistan have their origin in Indian-controlled land. For you to understand the significance of this, here's a brief intermission on rivers. Rivers are great suppliers of fresh water and nutrition. Rivers are also great borders that limit expansion significantly. And rivers are a great means of transportation. This means that nations that have rivers running through them can project power downstream along the river. In short, if you have a river running through your land, you are at the mercy of those upstream. And by controlling Kashmir, India can project power down 4 major rivers into Pakistan. India is currently constructing several dam projects, not just for hydroelectric power, but to divert drinking water away from Pakistan. This is an extremely precarious situation for Pakistan, which in return does anything it can do to destabilize Kashmir as much as possible.
Oh yes, so okay, so India was building dams so that water only goes through India, not to Pakistan. So Pakistan is now, like, I don't know what words you're gonna use with this. I don't know what word, but is now controlling some terrorist groups. I don't know much about these terrorist groups, but if you guys know, just comment it down below. But hey, this is actually a rivalry. Yeah, this is a rivalry.
On the other hand, India can also not allow Kashmir to fall into Pakistani hands, since the hills and lowlands of Jammu lead straight into the population centers of Indian Punjab. Both sides hate each other too much to give up a strategic advantage over the other. The conflict over Kashmir is therefore not really a religious conflict, but a conflict over strategic positioning over the other, and Kashmir finds itself squeezed between the two to this very day.
Yeah, addition China. Like, imagine you live in Nepal. What is the feeling of being in between of China and India? I don't know. I should probably search more about that. Nepal being between 2 superpowers like India and China. A tradition of antagonizing the tragedy of Bangladesh. Oh, Bangladesh. The last time they talked about Pakistan was actually separate. Pakistan and the Pakistan, but that Pakistan was actually Bangladesh. So yeah, okay. the tragedy of Bangladesh.
The previously mentioned disparity of identity between East and West Pakistan developed into an ever-heating tinderbox throughout the 1950s and 1960s, which eventually blew into open war and the worst atrocity of the Indian-Pakistani conflict. The West Pakistani attempt to force their culture, language and dominance over East Pakistan over 2 decades had the exact opposite effect. The people of Bengal doubled down and identified more and more with their culture and language. A movement of educated young people started to emerge, demanding increasing autonomy or possibly even independence, questioning how a country split in two over such distance could even continue. Pakistan responded with the establishment of Islamist militias through the Islamic fanatic party Jamaat-e-Islamiyah, making lists of intellectuals and educated Bangladeshis, and then conducted a purge of society. University professors, university students, lawyers, judges, politicians, doctors, high school teachers, engineers, and anyone with a resemblance of education was hunted down and murdered together with thousands more of innocent people. We do not know the number of how many were killed. The estimates range from 300,000 to 3 million. This Bangladeshi genocide of 1971 would go down as the worst atrocity in the post-independence subcontinent. In the resulting fighting, the Indian army eventually intervened on the side of the Bangladeshi independence movement, helping Bangladesh achieve independence. But the consequences of what happened in 1971 still show their effects to this day. Brain drain is when a country's best educated leave for better prospects abroad. That process harms domestic society and culture. Bangladesh, however, suffered not just a brain drain, but a brain extermination at the hands of the Pakistanis. Entire generations of educated people were murdered, leaving a massive education void in the country, which in return reduced the spread and quality of education in Bangladesh. Bangladesh to this day struggles with extreme poverty as a result. An estimated up to 30 million Bangladeshis work illegally in India to escape the extreme poverty at home.
Illegally? Oh my god. Damn.
And relations between India and Bangladesh are frosty at best, as can be seen by the longest border wall in the world, which India built between it and Bangladesh.
They actually have the most weirdest what you call the border. Yeah, I'm sorry. The most weirdest border, because there's like a part where there's like a small land of Bangladesh and there's like a small way of Indian. The only way you can pass, like maybe this is Bangladesh land, this is Bangladesh land, but in the middle it's like Indian land. You can't cross there. They have to walk across, and the land is actually wider, so they're gonna walk like they're just using a detour just to go to the other side. Yes, to the other side they have to walk, or I don't know, drive to the other side in a detour way. They can't just cross because it's Indian borders. Damn. The reason why I learned that, I learned it from, I forgot what YouTuber, but that video is going to be in the description down below. Check that video out. Damn. A tradition of antagonizing, the stupid game, terrorism. Oh,
terrorism is the dumbest game a country can play, and if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Every single time a government believed that giving weapons and support to a group of fanatical ideologues who are willing to kill for their delusions was a good idea, it backfired. But for some reason, the people of the Indian subcontinent don't learn that lesson, even though they won the resulting stupid prizes for 50 years, and nobody plays that stupid game as much as Pakistan. But why? In the 1970s, a splinter group of the Indian Communist Party known as the Naxalites split off from the party. Yes, I know you thought that I would be talking about the Taliban, but there is something you most likely don't know unless you are from India. The largest terrorist organization in the world isn't Islamist, neither is it nationalist or right-wing. The largest terror group in the world is a communist terror group in India called the Naxalites. With between 10,000 to 30,000 members, it's the largest in the world. Most active on the eastern coastline of India, where it engages in attacks on government institutions, the police, businesses, the murder murder of politicians, police officers, and business owners. They came into existence during the 1960s when they were largely supported by Mao Zedong to destabilize India. But after Mao died, it was Pakistan that jumped in to supply weapons and supplies with the sole purpose of destabilizing India. There's no ideological alignment. If you were to try to be a communist in Pakistan, you will most likely end up at the end of a rope. But the Naxalites were a useful tool to keep India in trouble. Within the area in which...
So Pakistan has been supporting the Naxalites, but that is communist. But if you're a communist in Pakistan, you're gonna get hanged. So I don't understand. Oh my God.
Which Naxalite terrorists are active, a substantial amount of India's aluminium, steel, iron, cement and other resource-based industries are based. The Naxalites attack these industry plants and mines, disrupt the economy, and are the main reason for continuing economic underdevelopment and lack of industrialization in East India. Since the 1970s, the Pakistani intelligence service, the ISI, has developed into an organization specialized in the use of foreign armed groups and terrorist organizations to disrupt and sabotage the ambitions of Pakistan's rivals. As much as you may hear of similar CIA, KGB, FSB, Mossad and Revolutionary Guard activities, none of them come close to what the Pakistani ISI has done and accomplished in this field of secret operations. Which is not to say that India didn't try its hands at such. During the 1970s, it provided support for a nationalist terror group in Sri Lanka, the Tamil Tigers, who wanted an independent state for the Tamil people. India did this because Sri Lanka was building bridges to India's Cold War rivals, and India wished to bully Sri Lanka back into its sphere of influence. However, there are also Tamil people in India, who with Tamil Tiger support soon started attacking India, and even assassinated an Indian Prime Minister.
Okay, that backfired. Jeez, wow. Imagine supporting a terrorist group and it backfires. Jeez.
Again, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
A tradition of antagonizing, the stupid game in
When
Afghanistan.
we look at the Afghan conflict, we often do so from the Euro-American lens.
Yeah. If you're gonna talk about Afghanistan, they're gonna think about America. Yes.
But it is a good idea to take these glasses off. This conflict is far older than the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. It's also worth reminding ourselves that even though the Americans provided weapons and money, they gave them to the Pakistani ISI.
Oh yeah, I forgot. America provided the Taliban weapons and gave it to Pakistan, so that the communist regime in Afghanistan will get out of the country, but it backfired. So yeah, dang.
It was Pakistan who took these weapons, created the Taliban and gave the weapons to the Taliban. But why? Was it really just to get the Soviets out of Afghanistan? No. Afghanistan's relationship with Pakistan has been cold since the beginning. As soon as Pakistan declared independence in 1947, Afghanistan engaged in a policy of trying to destabilize Pakistan. It allied itself with India and supported insurgents crossing into Pakistan to destabilize it. The reason is the before-mentioned Durand Line, Pakistan's western border that cuts through cultures and languages without making any sense. Afghanistan never recognized that border. Afghan leaders have considered much of West Pakistan, especially Pashtunistan, to actually belong to it, and on occasion even laid claim to Balochistan. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, Afghanistan frequently attempted to incite secessionist rebellions in Pakistan and even conducted military incursions. And that conflict worsened when the Afghan kingdom was replaced by a socialist republic allied to the Soviet Union, because the Soviets supported Afghanistan's claims to Pakistani land. This is
and that started a war that that's actually I don't want to mention that of the Afghanistan war, but okay, let's just stop that. I don't want to mention that. It's kind of tragic.
Years when Pakistan decided that it had to destabilize Afghanistan, and it did so by training and sending Islamist insurgents years before the Soviets
The
invaded
Taliban.
Afghanistan. The Americans merely involved themselves in something because it was at the time directed against the Soviets, but had no idea of the wider implications, or that this
Yeah.
was more a conflict between India and Pakistan than a Middle Eastern conflict. However, the stupid game Pakistan played to secure their national sovereignty won them an extremely stupid prize. Islamism doesn't care about national sovereignty or borders. Once the Pakistani-backed Taliban secured power over Afghanistan, they turned their attention elsewhere. They launched a terror campaign against Iran, whose Shia population
Oh,
they
God.
considered to be infidels. This soured relations between Pakistan and Iran, but also turned their sights on Pakistan, creating an offshoot there that started terrorizing the Pakistanis. Pakistan, however, keeps continuing its support for terrorist organizations that destabilize Afghanistan.
I'm seeing I'm seeing a pattern here. If a country supports or provides weapons, materials to like groups, yeah, it can backfire. They can backstab you, and yeah, that sucks, yo. Bro, okay, it's like they're just backstabbing each other. Damn.
Even though those in return support organizations that destabilize Pakistan, because a stable Afghanistan that can assert itself on the international stage is a threat to Pakistan's sovereignty and potentially its very existence.
Okay, so we're gonna end it here. This is part 3 of our reaction to India and Pakistan, a continuing story. Okay, it's still not done because we finished part 2 in 21 minutes and 17 seconds, and now we're ending it in 32 minutes and 9 seconds. So I don't know if part 4 we're gonna finish this video, but I don't know. I just don't know. But thank you for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe to my videos like this. Maybe I'll try to finish this video just in one, like part 4. So yeah, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to my videos like this. Goodbye.